So I can't really see myself exactly what time it shows up going live, but the time it loads, it probably is loaded. Hey, what's up, traders? Welcome back to Forex Gym. My name is George, and good morning to you. This is a live daily Forex analysis, which we normally do Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. UK time, which is the day today. So today's video, I have already pre-selected my 4 currencies, the ones I was already analyzing. So I already pop it in the screen, and this is the 4 currencies I will be analyzing. And on top of that, there's gonna be the audience questions or any related the trading questions, as well as any currencies you want me to have a look at it. You can just pop it in the chat box and then I will address them later. I do have my lovely assistants in here who is helping me as well to address all of your to make sure that I don't miss any of the questions or inquiries from you guys. If you don't know me, my name is George, as I said earlier, and I do this live daily Forex analysis Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. UK time, where you can interact with me on live. So we're going to jump into the trading view, and I'm going to start analyzing the currencies. So I do have the Euro against Australian dollar, followed by New Zealand dollar against US dollar, Aussie against US dollar, and lastly we got US dollar against Canadian dollar. So I'm doing the top-down approach. I do it from daily time frame to the short time frames, and then I'll look for the potential with the entries, stop losses, as well as targets, or what the price has to do in order for me to get me interested to trade that particular currency. As I mentioned earlier, if you got any questions, just pop it in the chat and I will be addressing them later. So don't be shy. Let's interact with each other. So I'm going to jump in and start with a Euro against Aussie. So let's go to the trading view and Euro against Australian dollar. One thing I want to mention as well, that I do have 1.5 hours, so from 8 a.m. started now up until 9:30 UK time. So 1.5 hours, I can spare that 1.5 hours and we can interact and analyze the bunch of different currencies. So I'm going to start with these 4 currencies, and on top of that you can ask me the questions and I will be addressing. However, if I don't see any questions or any interactions, then I will give it some time, let's say 5 minutes, and if no one is asking anything, then I will be signing out. But we do have that 1.5 hours, and if it's going to be a lot of inquiries, then I will be addressing them within that 1.5 hours. So without further ado, let's jump into the Euro against Australian dollar, and starting with the daily time frame. So I've got my pen just in case I need to draw. So to briefly, I did mention it in the last 2 days as well, to briefly recap there, we are on this, as of the big trend is a very big trend, as of the weekly and monthly goes is up. However, on the shorter time frame, we see that the nice trend is towards downside. So the price already came down with this support level down here. As we can see, we have this horizontal line. The price tested that line, and then we had this aggressive reaction for this I think Thursday and Friday last week. We had this nice reaction towards upside, and now we can see that the price is slowly coming down from the beginning, since the beginning of this week. So let's drill down to the short time frame. Let's go to the 4-hour time frame. I do have as of the short-term view, I have it towards the short side, but let's see what we have on the 4-hourly time frame. So on the 4-hour time frame, the price went nicely down. However, we can see it formed this this pattern in here. So I'm going to call it double bottom. Let's see if it has taken out this low in here. Let's go close and have a look. Okay, it did marginally, so we can see that the price came down. This spike low is slightly lower than this low, so the price came down and took out this low, which means that generally when we have the lows or the one of the highs, in this case lows, there's a lot of orders down to this this area. So when the price comes down and makes this marginal new low, that means that the price will get all the orders, either stop orders or the buy orders, they would have already sucked in unless they're a bit further down. So in this case, the price did that, and let's go to the 1-hour time frame, see what we have on the 1-hour time frame, and we also kind of look for the potential trades. In this case, as I mentioned, I look for more towards downside as of the short trend goes. I'm looking for the downside, and in this case I do want to see the price breaking this level here. So I do want to see the break of this level, and what I mean just to break, we can see that the price kind of took out this low, but that's not enough. We want to see a nice close towards a nice bearish candle, closing bearish candle, something like this one, let's say. This is sort of a doji candle, so I'm not happy with that. So I want to see a nice bearish close before I commit to the short side. So first of all, the price has to do it. Last hour I did not do it. We have still this hour. We still got about 50 minutes before this candle is closed. So let's say if this comes down and closes something like that one. Yeah, my drawing is not that good, but I hope you get the idea. So if it closes something like this one, the bearish candles, and just to illustrate it even clearly, this candle is a pretty good example. Like this candle for the 2 hour ago candle, this one there, it would be a good example. So if the candle comes down and closes like this one, below this low, so somewhere around this level, let's see what level that would be, around 167.65 or 70 zone. If the price comes down and closes like that, then I will be interested and wait for the retracement. So the price comes down and let's say close 67.70, and then the retracement would be somewhere. Let's have a look. I generally like normally use the highs in highs or lows because they are more likely to work out. In this case will be highs, I think, highs or lows. It's kind of coming to play with both of them. So if when the candle closes at 167.70, we want to see a bit of a retracement, around 30 pip retracement, which is going to be at these lows down here, as well as it comes close to these highs up here. So we would be looking, as of the entry goes, let's see, so about 167.95 is going to be our entry. 167.95. The reason I just explained, because we got lows and also it's close to these highs as well. So 167.95 as of the entry, and as of the stop losses goes, we need to give it a bit more space up here. 95, we'll be looking at very minimum, yeah, 40 pip stop loss on this one. 35 or 40 pip stop loss, we can get away with this. So we're going to position our stop losses around this level, so it's going to be higher than the spike high as well as these two. So 40 pip stop loss. Now let's have a look at the targets, but I want to highlight that it has to come down and break this low and close nice bearish candle. That's important because we want to see the price breaking that area down there. So the targets, let's see what we can target on. So we got this low down here at 67, around 67.50. So our entry is at the one I said earlier. Okay, I'm not sure it's going to work out with the risk reward. So 67.50. So 67.50. The one thing we need to keep always in mind, the risk reward. I know I'm mentioning this every single time on my live analysis or normal the trades I upload, because a lot of people ignore that risk reward, and that plays a key role if you're going to make money or not. That is very important. So 67.95 and 67.50. Okay, that's not good. So we need to look for the further downside, maybe down to this one, 67.10. Okay, we need to see a 4-hour time frame again if we can. 6700. We don't have it on the 4-hour time frame. However, we can use either, let's have a look at the daily time frame, see if we can use something. Okay, this is a bit further down, so this is a nice support. We can use the 1-hour time frame as of one of the targets. This is a bit further down, so that could be potentially second target, but for now we're going to stick to the 1-hourly target, which was down to 67.10. So if we get on to 67.95, we're looking 90 pips reward with a 40 pip Not the ideal for me, but it does give a 1 to 2 risk reward, which is good. But for me, I will be holding it down to the price support, which is at 65. Actually, no, hold on, 66. No, I'm gonna use this 1 hourly. So I see the two potential targets, actually 3, but just to not make you confused, guys, I'm gonna use, as of the first target, it's gonna be down to this 67.10. As of the first target, I'm gonna write these levels after I finish the analyzing on this currency. So I'm going to write the levels down, so don't worry if you're going to miss it. And also after end of this live stream, I'm going to put it on the comments, and I'm going to pin that comment, so if you want to just check it, as well as the timeline. So if you want to check it and see whatever currency you are interested in and the levels, you can just go to the comments and see that comment. So it will be very straightforward for you. So as of the first target, as I said, 67.10, so it gives us 90 pip or 85 pip gain with a 35 or the 40 pip risk. So 1 to 2 risk rewards, just over 1 to 2 risk rewards, but I will be holding my my trade down to 66.70. So 66.70, that gives my risk reward, because I do want to meet my 1 to 3 risk reward on that one. So if the price does that, no, actually, it's a different one. So let's write the DWAS. Okay, hi George. Can you look at the Australian dollar against Swiss franc? I'm long here with buy at 67. Yeah, DWAS, I will have a look at it once I'm done with the analysis of the other 3 currencies. So Australian dollar against Swiss franc, I certainly will. So let's write the what was it? Euro against Australian dollar, Euro AUD. So I'm going to write the levels. So this is a sell order. So sell order going to, so entry on this one is which one was it? 167.95, I believe. That was 167.95. Yeah, 167.95 with a 40 pip stop. So it's 167.95. So that will be the entry with the stop loss of 40 or 35, or 40 pip stop loss, 40 pips. And as of the targets, we would be looking, okay, I need to refresh it, the first target, I think 1 hour time. So as of the first targets will be 167.10 for the first targets. Let me just write this one first. So first target 167.10, 167.10, and second target. So second target's gonna be at 166.70. I believe that was further down to this. Yeah, 166.70 zone. So 166.70 zone. So that will be where I will be holding my target, just because I have to meet that 1 to 3 risk reward requirements. That's how my strategy is working. But if you want to take your profits at 167.10, you can do that. Risk reward is good. So that was the Euro against Australian dollar. Now let's jump into the New Zealand against USD. Let's go to the daily time frame. So NZD USD, and let's see what we have on New Zealand dollar against USD. So again, we're starting with a daily time frame, and we're going to drill down to the shorter time frame. So this video is more like day trading and a semi-swing trading analysis on this, because some of the trades I take, it can have longer faraway target. So some people kind of complained before that it's not really day trading, which is in a way it's true, but it's more like a semi-swing trading. And some of them can be a day trades as well. So it's kind of both in a way. So in this case, so this is a New Zealand dollar US dollar starting from the daily time frame. We can see for the last 2 days, as of from the start of this week, we have these weird candles. What I mean by weird is that it's kind of indecision candles. So the price is not really going anywhere, so it does not really shows what the price want to do. However, for the if we have a look at the trades, the price is making a marginal and new highs, and then we have this deep down, and for now the price is kind of trying to push a little bit higher, but it's not really managed to get anywhere. The price came up and then it taken out. It has marginally taken out. It has marginally taken out this high in here, but it did not really do much. So it did not went down, or not like it went up. So this is bit. It does shows the weakness. I do think this price probably gonna continue drop towards downside. The question is where it's gonna go. So let's have a look at the 4-hourly time frame and then drill down to the 1-hourly time frame, see what we have it in here. Okay, so the 1-hourly time frame, so no, this is 4-hour time frame. So 4-hour time frame, price doing this these movements. We can see there's a lot of, also we see a lot of tails in here, up here. So that means the sellers are still strong, so they still trying to push the price down. But the overall is kind of in a choppy mode. So buyers are not as weak as the as I want it to be, but I do still looking for the short side play on this one. So the price came up multiple times and tested this zone in here. We can see it. We have so many tails up here, and on this hour as well, the price is coming up. Maybe the price wants to. So it has already taken out this high in here, but it has not taken out this high, this spike high in here. So it might be a lot of orders up to this level. And price does, so it has to push another, okay, another 30 pips for the price to take out this high. Let's go to the 1-hourly time frame, see what we have on the 1-hourly time frame. New Zealand dollar against US. Right, okay, so the price, maybe the price wants to. So for this one, what I see right now, I do want to see the price coming up, and this one is a bit too far away. This is that 4-hourly high, so 90. Is it right? 90. Oh no, it's not this one. So this 4-hourly high is at about 60.95. So that is a bit too far. So if the price comes up that high, then I might be just waiting and analyzing. So however, I do want to see the price coming up and taking out this spike high in here before I decide to jump into the short side. So for now, I would want the price to see to come up at 60, 77, 80 zone, around 60, 80 in here. So that will be the highs taken out, and if there will be any orders, the market will suck that orders in. So first I want to see the price taking out these highs, and the one thing I do not want to see in this case, that the price closing strong bearish candle similar to this candle. So I don't want to see any strong bearish close. So ideally price will leave a nice tail, something like this one, for instance, this candle in here, a nice tail. I want to see a nice tail. Something like this one would be fine as well. So after the price does that, then I will be looking for the short play in here. So after price taking out these highs, let's see what we can do. So we can get on. So price has to take out. Probably not gonna do it in this hour. I don't think so. Maybe the next hour if we are. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna do it in this hour. So probably next hour once the price comes up, and we're gonna wait for the close of the candle. Then we can take the trade. So we need to get on somewhere around. Ideally at the somewhere top. So if we take this top at 60-70 zone after we've seen the price taking out and closing that 1-hourly candle, then we can take the trade about 60-70 zone. If you want to play a bit more safer, then you can wait for the price taking out and then wait for another hour to maybe price coming down and then returning back to this level. However, because it's already did several tests, we're probably going to jump in straight in after the price does that move, if it do it. So as of the entry 60-70, we can use a pretty we can use this very tight stop loss, can we? We can actually get away with Okay, 10 will be too tight. Probably 15 pip stop loss on that. Yeah, 15 pip stop loss will be good. So if we get on to 60, 70, 15 pip stop loss, then we can, let's have a look at the targets. So 60, 70, 15 pip stop loss. Okay, so we can use 1 hourly. 60, 40. Let's have a look at the 4 hourly time frame. See what we have on the 4 hourly time frame. Okay, that gives us 20. Okay, 20 is not good. 20 because we need to meet the risk reward. Always a risk reward. So 60, 30, that gives us 40 pips. We can justify that. So as of the first target will be down to this low in here, so somewhere down at 60.30. So we're getting out at 60.70 with a 15 pip stop loss, and 60.30 gonna be our target. So we're looking at 40 pip gain with a 15 pip stop loss. So well about 1 to 2 risk rewards. I will be holding my positions down to 60.15. Yeah, 60.15 down to this zone in here. So close to these lows as well as these highs and these highs in here. So we can have a 2 potential target. The reason why I'm taking a bit of a longer target, because as I mentioned earlier, my risk reward has to meet at the very minimum 1 to 3 risk reward. So we're getting on to 60, 70 down to the first target at 60, 30 down, yeah, 60, 30. Let me just write that one in here. So that is, was a New Zealand NZD USD. So NZD USD, sell. So the entry again. So entry is at 0.6070. As I want to still point it out that it has to do the move, the candle. It has to take out that 1 hourly high I mentioned earlier. So make sure the price, wait for the price to do that. Stop loss 15 pips. And for the targets, okay, let's write the first target. First target's gonna be at the one I mentioned, it was a 60.30, and the second target's gonna be at 0.60. Oops, I forgot to put the 0.6015, I believe. Oops. Down to 60.15, so that will be my my target. That will be my target in here. So first and second target. What you can do, you can split the position. So let's say if you're not sure, like you don't want to lose the entire, you don't want to risk like the entire size, then you can split the position. So let's say if you're trading, for instance, let's say you're trading for £2 per pip, just for example. So you can split the position, so you can take the £1 size off on that first target and then run the remaining target to the second target. So just in case if the price gets to the first target and it does not get to the second target and turns around and goes against you, at least you would bank that half of the profit. So it won't be as it will not of course make as much profit, but you will still get some, probably going to offset with the losses, or you're going to make a small profit, but it's better than the no profit at all. So the next currency will be Australian dollar against USD. So now we've got USD Canada, and as per Divas requested, Australian dollar against Swiss franc. So let's jump into the Australian dollar against USD. Aussie USD. See what we have. For this week, the markets are a bit needs more kind of nourishing. We need to like wait and see what the price is doing, because they can be a bit for this week I found it a bit more unpredictable because of probably the news as well. We had on the Euro side, we do have a news. I'm going to address the news slightly later once I'm done with the currencies. I'm going to discuss the news after that. because we need to keep in mind the news as well, because they do affect the currencies. So the daily time frame, and we have this nice the price is going nicely up. We had also this trend line in here, this daily trend line, but we can see that the price has broken this trend line. When I was looking at this yesterday, I was waiting for the price to, I have not ended up taking the trade, but I was waiting for the price came up to this level, but the intensity came very strong because of the, I think the Euro Economic Summit was with the court ruling was, I can't remember what was the news, so it affected the euro, so it pushed the price very high, but then at the end of the day the price came down and we closed this as sort of an inverted hammer. So I'm still looking for the short side in here, even though we still have this nice sort of uptrend on the on this daily time frame. So when the price, but that was a swing trade, by the way. So on this case, because the price is looking for the yesterday and day before, it does not really look that particularly strong. And also for the last, I believe that was the last week, we have this strong bearish candle, and it also came to this I believe that was some moving average in here, if I'm not mistaken. There's some sort of resistance, I forgot what it was, when I need to look at the off charts again. But we have this resistance in here, and then the price has reacted so far pretty good. Then I do look for if the price wants to go down. But for now, let's this is on a swing trade basis, and even on a short-term basis, we have a look at the shorter time frames. On the 4-hour time frame, and here the price did push a little bit up. However, the price came up to this 4-hourly high, and we see that the price is finding it difficult to break that resistance zone. And also we got this resistance up here, so the price find it difficult to break it. And now it already made a few tests, and now it's coming up for another test. So that will be interesting to see what the price will do in the next couple of hours. For this one, I might want to wait for the 4-hourly candle to close. Let's go to the 1-hour time frame, see if we have a bit more clearer view in here, because on the 4-hour time frame it's starting to look a bit, it looks like it's picking a bit momentum in here towards upside. So I want to make sure that I do have a proper setup before I get onto the short side. So far it has not really done much for me to want me to jump into the short side, apart from the yesterday when I was looking, but then the setup did not work out. So in here I do want to see, this is more like an observation for now, I do want to see the price coming down. So let's say it has to do it in the next couple of hours. I don't think it's going to do it for this and next hour, definitely not. I do want to see the price pushing down a bit more, maybe down to this 64.20. Yeah, ideally the price comes down at this level at 64.15, roughly 64.15. That means that the price will take out these two lows down here. So if the price does that, so it has to most likely gonna do it after maybe about midday, 11 o'clock midday UK time, because it's gonna take a couple of hours. And once the price does that, then I will be looking for the retracement. So let's anticipate in here. So if the price comes down at 64, about 15, and price takes out these two spike lows down here, then the retracement up to this 64.30. We can justify 64.30 as our entry, so that could be our potential entry in here. However, because this is still more like a developing, it's not very clear yet if the price gonna do it or not, because it will take about a couple of hours before this currency is gonna look like for me to like, okay, do I want to take the trade in here or not? For now is the no, but after a couple of hours it might change. As I said, if the price comes down, takes out these two lows down here, and then does the retracement around to this level in here, then I'll be looking for the entry. However, this is quite a bit of observation needed in here, and it can change in the next 2 or 3 hours. So I can say the entries, as I mentioned, entry is going to be somewhere around 64.30, but I do not want to mention it now because it's fairly inaccurate. So this is quite a bit of a developing in here. So I do not want to mention, and just in case that you're gonna get confused after the price maybe does some other things. I don't know, because the price is unpredictable, of course, but don't want to mention this. Maybe after a couple of hours, if I see the developing, I might put it in the comments if I have time in here. But for now, this is more like developing, so I don't want to mention any particular entries or the. Well, I already mentioned the entries, but I do want to leave it for this one as of the developing trade, developing currency. So let's jump into which one we had. So we analyzed Australian dollar against US dollar. So as I said, no particular entries and exits on this one, and I'm going to mention it. So USDCAD. Hi George. Many tests are needed to validate the breakout. Hey Hub, good to have you back. How many tests are needed to validate the breakouts? Which trade are you referring? Is it the New Zealand against USD? I would assume. To validate the breakout, I do want to see a strong close. I think New Zealand. Let me just go to the NZD USD and see NZD. I believe. So what I'm looking for is if the price, to validate the breakout, I need to see the price, just for examples, I need to see the price closing above that resistance or the support in the particular case. Then I can justify the taking trades. Until the price does that, we can see like in here, the price is not really breaking this area in here. So that resistance in here, so it came out. The spikes is not a proof that the price broken. Spike does not count, so it has to be a full candle, full body candle. So something like this one, for example, that will confirm, and of course the close above the resistance or the support level. Then I can see that okay, the price may be broken, the resistance in this case on here. So the full body candle, that will mean that the price has broken the resistance or the support in the case, but of course that doesn't mean that the price will continue. Sometimes the price does like to, even though the price, let's say it has broken and closed nicely, price does sometimes returns back to the below the resistance zone, but to confirm the breakout, we need to see a nice full body candle above the resistance or below the support level. So I hope that answered the question. After the candle, is there another candle comes and change direction? Yes, it can, but it depends how you trade. Is it, if it's a day trade or the swing trades, it can. But if the price, if you get the trend right, and even if it's chopping around, but let's say the big trend is downside, and it's because price goes to the different sessions, and the chopping is one of them as well. If it goes to that session, if you got the big trend, let's say if it's downside and the price is going to the let me just kind of draw. Let me just use that example in here. So let's say, can we use this example? No, it's not as good. No, I can't really use that example. Oh no, we can use this one. So no, this is not as good. good trend. So I'm trying to find an example which I can use as a good example. No, that's not good. Okay. Yeah, I mean, price can change directions, but once we get the trend right, and then the price did break that either support or the resistance, then we can. The other thing is you do not need to question it. So once you get your analysis right, the worst thing is when you start questioning it. So if you get the trend right, then you get the candle. If it broke, let's say support level, it broke that support level and then returned to, I normally, because I trade on the retracement, and it retrace on that particular level you're looking for, then you just keep that trade in here. If that happens, that you get stopped out and the price looks like it's changing the direction, then you need to reanalyze and address the situation. Normally it takes quite some time for the if the price will change the direction. It does not happen suddenly. In this case, for example, we can't, okay, the big trend is down to this level, but now this one is going to this choppy range. So if we see the full change of the trend just with the purely on the 1 hourly time frames, then we need to see the price breaking this level for sure, and maybe coming up. Also the intensity of the candles. So once the price probably pushes up to these highs, then I can see that, okay, the maybe price wants to change the directions. However, this is not going to happen in like very soon. It's going to take time before we see that change. So that change does take the time. So after that, when you see that the change is happening, I think that's more experience. It does plays a big role. Like when I look at the charts, I see already without even indicators. I rarely use the indicators. Only indicators I use is moving averages, and not very often. I do see the clean charts and I know where I'm gonna trade, and when I see the candles, I know where I'm gonna look for that, what trade should I take and which directions. So it does comes from the experience as well. The experience is quite a big role, plays a big role in the trading. So I hope I did answer that question. And the last one, I didn't do that. So last one, Usdcad. Let's go to the Usdcad and the Australian dollar against Swiss franc. Okay, let's analyze the Australian dollar against Swiss franc, and then I'm gonna come back to the US dollar against Canada because I started to dive into the questions. So Australian dollar against Swiss franc. Australian dollar against Swiss franc. Let's go to the Australian dollar against Swiss franc. AUDCHF. Okay, there's some other comments in here. Let me see. Down to right. So you can look for it. So long as Swiss franc, I'm long here with the buy at so 62.50 and take over the 63.60 on buy. So let's have a look. What was the entry again? 62.50. Okay, so the entry is at 62.50. So 62.50 up here. Okay, this so far it does looking towards upside as of the big trend. The price has, okay, so the price has taken out of this, so the price is higher than this high, and let's see where it's heading. So your target is at up to these highs, all right, 63.60 is the target, so 63.60. Okay, the target is in a good place, I would say. So you're targeting these highs up here, 63.50, so just above, maybe. The one thing I do want to, looks similar to the currency. I think Australian dollar against US dollar. It does look like similar to the Aussie against USD, I believe. So the price, so far it does looking good towards upside, but the only concern I do have between these two bearish candles in here. So they're looking pretty strong, and the price going up for the beginning of this week, it doesn't look very strong. So that's my only concern. However, the price might have enough strength to push up to this 63, around 63.40 zone, 63.50. You might want to give it a bit of a 10 pip space, because I do see this one's gonna be the next resistance. If the price makes it way to the up, maybe 63.40 would be better than 63.50. But then again, this is my personal opinion. The price might price might want to come up and even take out these highs, but so far the only concern for me is that the price have these two nice bearish candles towards the downside, and the way it's coming up now, it doesn't look very strong. Might have a bit more push towards maybe up to these highs as well. We will find out. This time will show, but so far it does not looking that strong towards upside. Let's analyze and see what's going on the shorter time frames. Okay, on 4-hourly time frame, the price is putting this double top. So the price came up and tested this 4-hourly high in here, and we have 4-hourly high. Also, this is close to this 4-hourly low. Yeah, it's very. I think this is more like a sit and wait currency as well. More of it. So we have these big moves. Yeah, we have this kind of V shape in here. I don't particularly like when I see it. As of when it comes to the short-term trading, for now, I would wait. This is more like a waiting game, similar to the Aussie USD, the waiting game in here. Yeah, I don't see the. Let's go to the daily again, see what we have on the daily time frame. Yeah, this is more like a sit and wait currency. There's a good I do see that the price can push up to this level in here, where about your profit target is. So I do acknowledge that your profit target is in a good place. So we have your profit target down up here. However, as I mentioned, the concern is these two bearish candles, and the price is coming up pretty weak. So if it's gonna push it that high, which is 60-40, so it's about 80 to 90 pips away. So that's another question, but there's certainly a probability that price will do that. But as I said, this is for now for me too. I would not take a trade personally right now, because I want to see where the price will continue, either if it's going to push and go higher, or if it's going to break down. But so far the way it looks, it's a bit contradicting, because we have this nice upwards move, but the caution is that these two bearish candles, and the price is coming up not that strong. So it might change in the next couple of hours, but this is more like a sit and wait game on this one. So I can't really mention any entries or the stop losses, as well as targets in here. So more like a waiting game. Yes, let me just have a look at the shorter time frames, just in case if I missed something or not. I don't think I missed anything. Go to 1 hourly. Yeah, I don't think I missed anything in here. As of the short terms, if 62.80, so we got this spike at 62.85. Maybe after price either breaking these highs up here, or down to these lows, then I I will be looking for either long if it breaks these highs up here, or the shorts if it breaks down to this level, but then it's still not obvious yet that what the price wants to do yet. So this is more under the analyzing section, so it's more a look and wait up here. So yeah, sit and wait. So this is the patience game in this particular currency. But I did say that the targets, it's in the good place on the 63.50. However, I would personally, I would wait. I would put the target at 63.40 if I were you. But that's your choice. So because these targets, these highs are just the body highs are about at 63.40 plus the spreads and all that. So you might need to keep that in mind too. So this USDCAD was the next one. So I did analyze Aussie. Oh, I forgot now. Was it Australian dollar against Swiss franc? Australian dollar against Swiss franc. So AUDCHF. Thanks, George. No problem at all. And Nicholas is asking thoughts on shorting USD Japanese yen. Okay, so let's go to the USD Japanese yen, but I do have USD CAD as well. Let's have a look at USDJPY. Shorting the USDJPY. Oh, right. Okay, it's going nice. The couple of hours I have a look at this, it was looking a bit. Okay, so far it's going nicely and nicely down. Let's analyze this one. On the daily time frame, it does looking nicely towards short side. And as of the 4-hourly time frames, yeah, it does looking good. I do like it on them. Yeah, the trend is towards a downside, so that we got that already sorted. Now let's have a look at the 1-hourly time frame. Okay, 1-hour time frame is just putting this double bottom. So the price came. Okay, so the price did a nice retracement. So this retracement up here. So the price came up and tested this area in here, and then we had this nice down candle. It's gonna be closing in about 10 minutes. So this so far is looking good. However, as of you looking for the shorting, I would look for if the price coming down a bit lower. I want to see the break of this spike down here, which is another 10 pips away, so this is not too far. So I don't want to see the price breaking the this level at 106.20 zone and coming down maybe a couple of pips further down, so 106.18. So far it does looking good towards short side, but wait for the price breaking and then returning again. I do want to see a nice bearish close in here, then price returning. Most likely if the price comes down and closes at 106.18 or 17, then a return of the up to this level, we can justify the 106.27. So 106.27 return of this zone up to this level. So this lows in here, we can take the trade towards short side. The one thing is might be the stop losses might be too far. So 106.28, this stop loss. So no, that's not too bad. So 28, if we can on 28. So we can give it 15 pip stop loss. So 15 pip stop loss on this one. So we're gonna position our stop losses up to this level here. 15 pip stop loss. The targets, we're gonna use the 4-hourly time frame for the. If we can use the 4-hourly time frame. So the price already has broken down to. It's already taken out this low, so there's a good chance the price is going to continue to fall. 105.60. That could be good. Okay, let's go to the daily time frame. So now I'm looking for the potential target in this one, the 105. Okay, we can use the daily time frame. This is a bit closer to the target. So the next support is going to be at roughly 105.90 zone. There's a nice decent daily support. We have a lot of price action, so we got this this low in here. It doesn't look good, but we have this lot of cluster of opening closes down to this level, so we can use this one as a target, 105.90. so we will be looking which one did I say the entry was? 105.90, 106.28 was the entry, and the 90, so 10 was 107. Oops, I missed that one now. No, 106, 106.28, so 106.28 and 105.90. So it gives us about 37 pip gain. Okay, that might not be that good. So 38 pip gain with a 15 pip stop loss. Okay, so it does meet the risk reward is just over 1 to 2 if you use the 15 pip stop loss. 1 to 2 risk reward, which is good. The 1 to 2, anything above the 1 to 2 or above is a good risk reward. However, it does not meet my risk reward requirement. So we can use this area down to this level at 105.90. and the entry is at 106 for now, 106.28, I believe, 106.28. However, I do want to see the price coming down and taking out this low down here, and also a nice bearish close similar to this candle. Now we can see that the price is retracing, so it's backing up, and it's only 7 minutes away before this candle is closed. So probably in the next hour, wait for the next hour, if the price comes down nicely and takes out this low, also a nice close, and then a return to these highs, then we can take the trade towards a short side. So I'm going to write the levels on the USDJPY. So USDJPY. So USDJPY. The type is sell. Type is sell, and the entry. So the entry is at 106. 106.28. So 106.28. So that's entry with the 15. So S and L. S and L stands for the stop loss, just in case if we are confused what the hell the S and L means. So stop loss will be 15 pips, and the target's gonna be at 105.90, I believe it was. So 105.90. So that gives us about 1 to 2 risk reward on that one, which is decent risk reward. However, as of my personal preference, I'm gonna be taking either the lower. Actually, let's have a look at the second potential targets if I find any, maybe on a 4-hour time frame. But just make sure that the price comes down and breaks that low. So if the price doesn't do that, you might want to wait, because that most likely going to disqualify the trade, and then I might want to reanalyze and see how the price is behaving. 105.70 could be another target, actually down to this level. So 105.70 could be the second target. So let's do this one as so second target's gonna be at 105.70, not 105. So 105.70 will be the second target. So I'm gonna write all these levels on the comments once I'm done with the Once I'm done with the live analysis, I will put the comments and pin it the comments to this video. So you will you can, once you click on that video, you can go to the comments and see exactly where are the levels, what timelines are the trades coming in. So Amir is asking, AUDJPY is a short maybe. So Australian dollar against Japanese yen, yes. Australian dollar against Japanese yen. So let's go to the AUDJPY. See what we have. Australian dollars. Did I haven't looked at it before? No, I haven't looked at it. Yeah, the Australian dollars, Australian dollar pairs, they look kind of similar to the. Yeah, they look quite similar to the like Aussie against USD. Looks same as Aussie. I think it was a Swiss franc as well. They look pretty much similar on that one. So this is a daily time frame. We're starting with the daily time frame. So this one looks more of a downside. Looks more like weaker, so to speak, because of this. So we got these candles up here. So last 2 days we have doji and sort of an inverted hammer doji candle, and today it has not really moved much. So the bigger this trend is on a daily time frame is looking for the recent trend is looking up. However, it does looking for the beginning of this week, it does look weak. So the price did not quite get to the support level. It kind of air kissed it in here. So we got this support level down to this this area in here. So 67, almost 90, and we can see that the this candle, this one, just air kissed that level in here. So if we can, you can see it's not that far away. It's only like 4 or 5 pips away. So it kind of air kissed it, but did not quite get there. Let's see. I'll be looking actually show 67.70. Okay, there might be actually the potential short trade in here for the as of the day trades are going. So, but I need to see first the short time frames. Okay, so this is a 4-hour time frame. We have this nice move on a 4-hour time frame towards downside. Then we had this retracement. Well, the retracement went. Okay, so we have this solid support at 68.85. So it did a 2 test. So this area in here, oops, excuse my drawing. So you get the idea. So I mean this area. So we got these low spikes. We can see there's loads of tests in here. So then the price came up. It did another test with this candle and came up another one, but failed to break, and then it's came down, and we can see. So the price came down and to this support down here. We can see it's sitting at the same level. So it tested that, and it did push on the last hour. However, for this hour is going to close this hour candle is going to close in a minute. So we're going to close as doji or inverted. It doesn't look like inverted hammer. It's more like a doji. So that does looking that the sells are looking pretty strong, which is good. Let's go to the 1 hourly time frame. Okay, 69.97 went up there. So first look at the target, then I can see if I can justify taking the trade. So as of the targets, I can look for this area. It's 67.70. So that's good, more than 70 pips away. So 67.70 is the area. Let's have a look at the hourly, if we can determine any the entries. So just to be a bit more sure and to be more on a safer side, because we still have a bigger trend. The daily trend does looking up, even though for this week the Aussie does not look very strong, and it's coming down. For the Monday, Tuesday candles, they're looking pretty weak, and the price is coming down now. So I do want to see for next hour or two, or even this hour, the price coming down, at least testing these lows down here. So down to this level at 68, roughly about 68.25. So another 20 pips push down, and I want to see a nice solid close similar to the last hour. We can see that this is a nice bearish candle in here. It does not have very tiny little wick, so I want to see similar candle to that one. So when the price comes down to this level at 68.25, which is down to this level down here, so down this low, I do want to see a nice close down to this level. If it takes out this low, it's fine as well, but I do want to see a strong bearish close with a full body or a tiny little tail. Then once it does that, so if, let's say 25, then I can look for the retracement up to this 68.35 level. So 68.35 level, then we can take this one as an entry. 68.35. Let's have a look at the stop and losses in here. So 10 pips. Now we can do 10 pips. We need 15 pips. We need a 15 pips for the very minimum on this one. You can give 20 pips if you want that extra safety that the price might push a little bit higher than usual. So 15 or 20 pips stop loss on this one, and our target is at 67.70. So now let's calculate. If you go into 68.35, then 30, so we're looking at about 65 pips with that 15 or 20. So we can justify taking a 20 pip stop loss because the risk reward is going to be 1 to 3, so just about 1 to 3. So this is good. But first, please wait for the price to come down to this level and a nice close, nice strong bearish close. So as I mentioned, so I'm going to write the levels down to the chart. So 68.35 the entry, only after it breaks this, so it comes down on this level. So I keep mentioning the same thing over and over again because there might be someone just looking at the charts and missed what I said, and someone might just take the trade at this level because it's not that far away for now. But first, the price has to do that move. So 68.35 entry as of this sell side. Oops, what is that? Okay. So AUDJPY. Okay. Type is sell. Okay. Sell type. We're getting on as entry is 68. Oops. 68.30, yeah, 68.30. So 68.30 is the entry. The stop loss is 15 or 20 pips. 20 pips stop loss, and for the targets, we don't have a second target in here. So the target is at 67. I believe it was 67.70 on the target. So this is Australian dollar against Japanese. Yes. So Nicholas is nice analysis, first time watching. I'll subscribe and like. How often do you do live trading? Thanks, Nicholas. I do my live trading Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. UK time. So 5 days a week I'm here, and normally I do this 1.5 hours on this live trading. So you're more than welcome. Join us every Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. UK time. So what we have left, oh, the US dollar against Canada. So I have not analyzed that one. Oh, one more thing, guys, please give it a like if you found this video helpful. It really helps to support my channel, so give it a like. It does helps me to grow my channel and support my channel as well. So don't be shy, hit that like. So USDCad, let's go to USDCad. Oops, no, we don't need that. USDCad. See what we have in here. So we haven't broken this daily trend line. Okay, so what we have up to this. If you follow me my weekly forex analysis, which I normally upload on the weekends, my swing analysis, which I do on Saturday and Sunday, as of my big view on the USDCAD is towards upside. The target, I think, potentially is still not developed yet, but potentially I was still waiting for this price, this currency to push higher as of the monthly and weekly trades are concerned. By dust playing around now, I'll be waiting for that for quite a long time now. It's been, I think, 2 or 3 weeks now. I've been waiting for this one to set up towards upside and potentially run it to this target, but so far is not giving me the opportunity. As of the day trades, so we've seen for the last week the price came down to test this this support down here, and then we had this nice strong reaction towards upside. We've seen for the last 2 days we had a nice okay, not this one, but for the Friday, I believe the 1st of May, yeah, it was Friday, we had a nice strong bullish candle. So the price did came up to this sort of high in here, so the price tested that high. There we put the doji candle, and now it's kind of coming down. So let's see what are the potential opportunities on this one. Let's go to the 4-hourly time frame. So as of the 4-hourly time frame, the price, okay, this trend line, okay, let's get rid of this trend line. So as of the 4-hourly time frame, the price does it came down, but this is more like a, it looks like a retracement of the bigger. So we see that this 4-hourly nice candles towards upside, and this is just a retracement. The price came down to this support zone and tested this support zone already, actually two times in here, and now we can see the price for this 4-hourly candle, the price already came down and tested another time. So this one gives me a bit of caution. Because the shorter term, let's go to the 1-hour time frame, see what we have on the 1-hourly time frame. Okay, so similar picture, the price came down to this support level and it's now find a strong support in here. It does not look like it wants to break it. I would look for the, actually I would look for this one more upside and downside, even for the short-term trading. On a 4-hourly, it does looking nicely up. This is just a bigger retracement in here, and now the price is putting this a double bottom in here, and that tells me that maybe price wants to at some point go to join the big trend, or even on the 4-hour time frame the trend is still looking, as of just this one is looking up, so the price might want to join that the uptrend on the 4-hour time frame, even though we do have this we have this nice down move. But on the daily time frame we have the nice up move. We've seen it earlier, so yeah, this is kind of, it's more like I might need to put some, let's say, put some barriers, what I call, so what I mean by that is they put some the price has to do some certain moves before I decide to jump into the trade. Sometimes you look at the currency and analyze, and you see like, okay, it just needs to get to this level and we are good to take the trade. And sometimes the price needs to fulfill some requirements, do some moves before it gets me interested to take the trade. So in this case, more like this one, it needs to do a couple of more things before it gets me interested to jump into the long side in this case. So the first and foremost, if you're going to take the long trade, I do want to see the price coming up, probably another, let's see, on a 4-hourly time frame, 40-70 zone. Okay, yeah, I do want to see the price coming up, and yeah, we got this nice resistance up here. Okay, this is a strong resistance at 1490. I'm also looking for the potential retracements. We can use it, so it's not only that, but also the retracements we can use. So what I'm looking right now is if I can justify if the price comes up to this level and then retracement, or would it be better to wait for the price coming up to this level in here and then wait for the retracements. But it's quite a bit of distance. It's about 50 pips away, so that's a bit of a concern. So maybe we need to tighten the stop loss, and that means we're going to tighten the take profit as well. So first and foremost, do you want to see the price pushing? Yeah, I do want to see the price pushing higher. I can't really justify taking the long trade in this particular occasion. So because we do have a lot of movements still downside, I do want to see the price coming up at the very minimum at 140.70 zone, which is another 30 pips. So I want to see the price coming up at 140.70, and the way it comes up as well, that's important. I want to see a strong bullish candle. So like this one is a very good example of the strong bullish candle. So this bullish candle in here looks very strong. If something that one or this one is also good as well as this one, they are a strong bullish candle. So I do want to see the price coming up and close something like these candles, which I just circled. Not very good, but you get the point. So I want to see the price coming up and close nicely bullish. Then that will demonstrate that okay, the buyers are coming in charge, so the buyers are picking up the momentum, and then we can justify taking the trade. Ideally on a retracement, because that gives us a better risk reward. So if the price comes up at this level, maybe even taking out this one, but first a nice bullish close, then a retracement. So let's just say that the price came up at 140.70, nice bullish close, and then a retracement on, yeah, this one's gonna be good. So 140.55 would be a nice, yeah, would be nice support level. Let's have a look. 40.50. Okay, this is closer. So 140.50. Let's see what we have. What lows are down that way. So we do have these lows. 140.55 as of the entries, and the reason why that level, so we have a load of price action. We have these levels up here, 140.55, as well as these classes, loads of price action going on in this area. So that should be a very good, it's a decent support. Of course, once the price comes up to this 140.70, closes nicely, and then a return of the 140.55. As of the stop losses goes, now let's have a look at the stop losses. So if we take it 140.55, 55.45, nope. $20 pips stop loss. 55.35. Okay, 20. Yeah, 20 is a bit tight, and we need 20, maybe 30. Yeah, actually, this one's gonna need at the very minimum 30 pip stop loss on here. So we're gonna need a 30 pip stop loss. If we're going to that 140.55, we're gonna be looking at 30 pip stop loss. So 140.25 to this level, and once the price pushes, oops. So let's say the price pushes, and if the price comes down, so we're gonna position ourselves somewhere. The stop loss is gonna be somewhere around here, and if the the price continues to come down and take out our stops, and certainly come down to this level down here, then probably we're gonna say that my analysis wasn't right and the price want to continue fall towards south. Target. So the target. So 140.55 with a 30 pip stop loss. So we want at the very minimum in the 1 to 2 risk reward. So 140.90 will be the next. $55 and 41. Let's go to 4-hourly time frame and figure out our targets. So I don't see 1-hourly time frame, might not be. Okay, 141.20. If we get to 55, then we're looking. Okay, that could be the first target. So 141.20 could be the first target. So I've got my cursor in here. We can see. Oops, okay. 141.20. So we got these lows. There's a lot of cluster going on in here, as well as these highs. 141.20. So there's a lot of price action going on. So that will be our first target, 141.20. So that gives us, if we take at 140.55, so 45, 60, so 65 pips. Again, we take the 30 risk, so we're looking just over 1 to 2 risk rewards. In my case, I will be holding my positions a bit further up. Because again, 1 to 3 risk reward has to meet my 1 to 3 risk reward. So in my case, the second target, or my first target, is gonna be on 141. Can I say 50? Yeah, I can justify the 50. So 141.50 is gonna be in my case as of the target. So I'll be looking 95 pip. Reward with a 30 pip gain, so it does meet my 1 to 3 risk reward requirement. So I'm going to write this one, the levels down here, if I don't forget. So I need to refresh. So the entry was 140.55. The first has to break. It has to come up to 140.70 zone, and then nice close, and then return to the 140.55. So USDCAD type is not sell, the buy. Actually, type is buy. Type is buy, and we're getting on at 140.55, 140.55. Oops, I forgot to write entry. So entry. So the entry is at 140.55 with 30. So S and L is 30 pips. So that's a minimum requirement. If you want to give it a bit longer, if you want to give it a bit wider stop loss, you can use extra. You can give it an extra 5 pips on the first target, but do not give it too wider unless you're holding into the second target. So the stop loss is 30 pips, and the first target was at 141.20. 141.20, and the second target, and this is my target, so that will be my first target in here. The second target was 141.50, I believe. So 141.20 and 141.50. So as I said, I'm gonna write these entries and the timelines in the comments so you can it will be easier for you guys to look for that trade. So let's address the questions. Hey George, before ending this session, can you analyze Australian dollar against US dollar? Again, I'm on short already at 64.34. Take profit at 6400. Yeah, sure, I can do that. What was that? Aussie. AUDUSD. Oh, we do have like 9 minutes left. The time flies pretty quick. I did not even realize that time went so quick. And Aussie. So let's go back to. So you're on was it shorts? I'm on short. Okay, short already. 64.34. So 64.30. Let me just turn it to 1 hourly time frame. So 64.34 again. That's so entries in here, and profit was 6400, 64.34, 6400. So 6400 is down to this. Okay, 6400. Why 6400? Okay, so we do have this. Yeah, we do have this level down here. So 6400. This so far it does going is looking it does going nicely towards downside. So there's a good potential that the price will get there. However, we do have this this support level down here. So that's why I wanted to wait and see what the price gonna do when it approaches this level in here at 64.20. The target is good as of the 6400, so you're targeting down to this level zone down here. So target is in the right place. Depends. What did I say earlier on there? Let me have a look at the comment section. I think I did. So you want to. Okay, I don't think I mentioned these stop losses because it was a developing as well. Yeah, that's what I thought. So this is more developing. The target is in a good place, but I would have personally waited to see what the price is gonna do at when it comes to this level, because it looks like a decent support level at 64.20 zone. So far, the pair is going pretty nicely. We can see that the price is coming down nice and slow, so it does looking good towards downside, but it can change on when the price gets to this level. So what was your stop loss, if you don't mind me asking? So 64, you entered it at so do you have a stop loss or you do not have a stop loss? Let me see. I think so. You have a take profit, but though no stop loss. Okay, 64.34. So no stop loss. Okay, so no stop loss. I will just assume that you don't have a stop loss. As so 64.34. Let me see what we have. 64.34 as of. So 34, 10 pips. So if you're taking it, if your target is down to 6400, you can. To be honest, the 10 pips would be justifiable to give it a 10 pip stop loss. However, I'm always looking for the risk-reward perspective because it does has to meet the risk-reward in as of my view. If you take a 15 pip stop loss in here, that would just give that extra safety. Yeah, you can give it a 15 pip stop loss, I would say. 15 pips, and your target's going to be at 6400, so you enter 6434. So that gives 1 to 2 risk reward, which is going to be good. If you give it more the wider stop loss, then it will affect your risk reward, so you do not want to do that. 1 to 1.5 is okay. But I personally would suggest to have 1 to 2 risk reward is good, because over the long run it will make money at the end. So give it 15 pip stop loss is decent enough. So in your case, going to be, if you when you enter 64.34, then it will be at 64.49, I believe, if my math is not failing me. So you position your stop losses somewhere up here, and in this occasion, because the price is already making this this nice candle, nice bearish candle, if the price turns around and comes up all the way up, then it's probably price going to continue to go higher, maybe even take out this spike high in here, or get to this level. So 15 pip stop is pretty decent, and if it gets to your target, then you're going to have 1 to 2 risk reward, which is good. No problem at all. So I don't see any more question. We are coming to close. Yeah, we're coming very close to the end of our session. We've got 4 minutes. Just quickly, the news. Yeah. So I want to mention the news. Why? So always. Today we are on Wednesday, so we do have some news out today we need to keep in mind. So Euro economic forecast, we still got in, I believe it was yesterday as well, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, it was the German side. So we got the Euro economic forecast, so which might affect the euro depending what they say. The only problem is we do not know when it's going to come out, so that creates a bit of a problem, because it can come out anytime out of the blue today, and it can affect that euro side. So any euro currencies, keep that in mind, and I do want to emphasize that use your stop losses, because that will keep you in the game. So it's good, it's better to take that loss and have a little stop loss, rather than not put your stop loss, and maybe something on the euro side, someone said something, I don't know, something crazy, which will move the market, and you will be sitting on a big loss. So it's always better to have a tiny loss, this tiny stop the loss, rather than have a big losing trade just because you have not used the stop loss. So that can affect depending on the speech. And we also have the ADP non-farm employment change. So this is a 115. This one is a bit, it can create some volatility, but I've seen a couple of times that it did not really move the market. So this is like a more 50-50. Even though it's on the red zone, it can create some volatility, but more or less it does not do much. But then it depends, because the ADP is it's important, but it's not as important on a Friday as on Friday the non-farm payrolls. So that's gonna be so by the way, we are on the non-farm payrolls week, so which is gonna be on Friday, and so that's gonna be the biggest, probably the biggest mover of the US dollar side for the end of this week. But yeah, so far today we do have the euro side, and we do have that 115. This is all on the UK time, that ADP non-farm employment change, which can also affect the currencies. So this is the so far on the side. So I think that will be it, guys. So we do the 1.5 hour. If you find this video helpful, please give it a like. It really helps me to support my channel, and also to motivate me to make even more videos and better videos. And if you're new to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe. I'm making this live daily forex analysis Monday to Friday 8 a.m. So every Monday to Friday 8 a.m. UK time, I do this live daily forex analysis, as well as I do the weekly forex analysis on the weekends. I do upload them, as well as the other videos about the the trading psychology, or how to improve your trading in general, and all that mindset games, I do upload that videos as well, which is gonna be more in the future, because that is more important for the trading. You need to master that trader mindset, and once you master that trader mindset, that will what makes you money over the long run. So that will be it, guys. Thank you guys for watching, everyone, and all the interactions and questions asked. I do appreciate that. Yes, did I miss something? Up or up? Okay. Thanks. Why don't you quit the Discord channel? Hey Mima, I missed your comments. So the Discord channel, this one I will be looking a bit more into the future. Yes, I'm planning to either Discord or I was looking earlier about the Telegram, but I was still debating. I had a look at the Discord actually yesterday. Funny enough, the coincidence. So I did look at the Discord yesterday. So I did like that one. But this one, I'm be looking for a bit more in the future, because I'm still very busy. So I want to get that all the content, get all it together, and the YouTube does takes a lot of my time, as well as all the analysis, because I still need to trade and all that, so they all take the time. So I want to keep that everything organized. Then I will be doing the either Discord or the Telegram. Probably gonna be the Discord, because I did like the outline and all that. But this is a bit more in the future, maybe good, probably a couple of weeks in the future. So yeah, no problem at all. Anything else? Oh, it doesn't go down anymore. Thank you. Gabriel, yeah, you're a bit late, but you can always watch the video. So I'm signing out, and if you wanna get to this live daily forex analysis, I'm gonna be doing it tomorrow at 8 AM UK time. So not to worry, I will be here tomorrow as well at 8 AM. So I do this live daily forex analysis Monday to Friday, 8 AM. So 5 days a week. So if you missed today, it's not a problem. You can always catch up tomorrow or the day after. Okay, guys, thank you for your support and all your comments and the inquiries. I will be signing out, and yeah, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe, and if you find this video helpful, hit that like. It really helps me to support my channel. So I will see you guys tomorrow at 8 AM UK time. Okay, as I mentioned before, that I'm gonna leave the timelines as well as the entries, exits, and all the levels which we discussed in here. I'm gonna leave it in the comments after this session is ended. So probably give me about an hour, and then I will put all that in the comment section. I'm gonna pin that comment in this video. So okay, guys, so I will see you guys tomorrow 8 AM UK time. Have a great day. Okay, let's sign out.
Ooh,